This evening, I would like to call us to order the Jacksonville City Council meeting in our council chambers. Today is Tuesday, October 10th, 2023 at 6 o'clock. We do have a quorum, so I will call us to order. Our invocation tonight will be given by our city attorney, Brett Brewer. So if you'll stand for that, and then we'll follow that with our pledges. Reverend Brewer.
Thank you.
You're right, Reverend.
Will you bow with me in prayer? Father God, we come before you with gratitude. We thank you for being a God of love who's with us right now in this very room where we are. Thank you for never leaving us or forsaking us. Your grace has brought us this far, and your grace will lead us home. And we thank you for bringing each of us in this room, and every person that we meet, and every citizen of this city, and every city across this country in the image of you. And thank you for calling us, every one of us, to be good stewards of your creation, and to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. And I thank you tonight for your servants that you have given to us, for our mayor, for our city council, our city manager, and the whole city staff. I give you thanks for the way that they serve this community, and that they have chosen to work on each of our behalf for us. And we know that tonight people in this room are carrying burdens and carrying hope and joy, and we trust that you alone can bring us together, and your love and your peace. And Lord, help us to trust you more, and more than our fears, more than even our accomplishments. And may we lean on your everlasting arms as we do your will. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge first of the American flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Our next item, we have two, maybe three special presentations. Our first will be the Business of the Month, presented by JEDCO President Shane Pace. Mr. Pace.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
You bet.
This month we are presenting the Business of the Month award to Ritual, so I would like to invite Ms. Whitney Graham to come up and join me. Hi, Whitney. So for those of you in the community who don't know Ritual is not just a business establishment, it's a brand. Whitney has been instrumental in helping to transform Jacksonville into where we are today. If you go downtown, you'll notice the Ritual Luncheonette, the Ritual Bar, and then now the new Ritual soda fountain and laboratorium and soda fountain of youth.
And yoga studio.
And yoga studio as well. There's also the salon, or the what do you call it?
The laboratory.
No, where you're at your hotel.
Oh, well, it's the hotel Ritual.
It's the Hotel Ritual, which and spa. There you go. Which burned unfortunately a year ago, and she's been working diligently on rehabbing that building, and so we hope to see that up and running in the very near future. But it's people like Whitney who really show the spirit of the city of Jacksonville. It's perseverance, it's blood, sweat, and tears. And I heard someone say once that anything she touches turns to magic, and I would second that. So with this, congratulations, Whitney.
Did you just turn me magic?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Shane.
Yeah, can we do one more picture? Sure, come on. She wants to bring the team up.
Yeah. Without these people, none of this would be possible.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's definitely due to this team, and this is just a fraction, this is a small portion, there's so many more people. Veronica's birthday tonight, so she's partying somewhere else. So here you are, you made it. Happy birthday. Feliz cumpleaños.
Let me get in the bag. Can't move it much, but we can move it. Yeah, can't move it much.
Oh, it's connected on the.
Yeah. One more right here.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for your support. Just a portion.
Our second presentation is a Fire Prevention Week. It's a proclamation presented by myself. So Jeremy, if you and your crew might want to come up, I'll read the proclamation for us. And crew, or whoever, that'd be great. The proclamation says, whereas Fire Prevention Week is October 8th through the 14th, 2023, and whereas the National Fire Protection Association announced cooking safety starts with you. Pay attention to fire prevention as the theme of this year's Fire Prevention Week. And whereas according to the National Fire Protection Association, cooking is the leading cause of home fires, with nearly half of all home fires involving cooking equipment. And whereas also cooking is also the leading cause of home fire injuries. And whereas unattended cooking is the leading cause of home cooking fires and related deaths. And whereas the NFPA data shows that cooking is the only major cause of fire that results in more fires and fire deaths in 2014 through 2018 than in 1980 through 1984. And whereas Fire Prevention Week is celebrated through North America every October and is the oldest public health observance on record in the U.S., entering its 101st year, Fire Prevention Week works to educate people about the leading risks of home fires and ways they can better protect themselves and their loved ones. Local fire departments, schools, and community organizations play a key role in bringing Fire Prevention Week to life in their communities each year and spreading basic but critical fire messages. Now therefore, I, Randy Gorham, Mayor of the City of Jacksonville, Texas, do hereby proclaim Sunday, October the 8th, 2023 through Saturday, October 15th, 2023 as Fire Prevention Week in Jacksonville, Texas, and encourage all citizens to educate themselves on the dangers of cooking and remain diligent when cooking so as to prevent home fires whenever possible. Signed this the 10th day of October, 2023 by myself. Thank you, sir. There you go, Mr. Jeremy. Thank you, sir. You bet.
And then I want to use the
So basically, this tells me we should eat out more.
Yeah.
Just thinking that, stop cooking.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate y'all, sir. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our third item is, we're honored tonight to have our JISD Ambassador Group, and I think Grace Traver is here, and she's gonna bring those young men and women in. And she's gonna tell us a little bit about the program at our JISD school. But Grace, you wanna come tell us a little bit about what they do and how this all came about?
This is our student ambassador team for this year. This is the 7th year that we've had an ambassador team. And we have a few missing. The total number on the team, y'all can go ahead and start passing out. You'll give yours. It's 24, although I think 20 are here today, or 21. They're gonna pass out a little information about the school district and about the team. Give everybody up there one. These kids are in grades 4 through 12. and they have to be nominated. The nominations start in the spring before the new year starts. So in about March and April, teachers, parents, and sometimes the students themselves will nominate. And then each campus is asked to narrow that number way down to certain criteria. We have well over 100 that are nominated every year. And so once they're narrowed down, we have a committee that interviews each student, it's like a job interview. And then we name our team. So these kids are really well thought of in their school. They're real leaders, and they will travel out into our community once a month to speak to civic organizations. The city council invited us to come speak to them tonight. And it's basically to raise awareness of how great our kids are in our school district here. So we're very proud of them. They're going to introduce themselves, and then you're welcome to ask them questions about the district if you'd like to.
Good evening. My name is Daquan Christopher, and I am a proud JHS student body president and a proud JSD student ambassador. And after I graduate, I plan on attending Prairie View A&M University to pursue electrical engineering. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Easton Lindsay. I go to Joe Wright Elementary in 4th grade. And for my future plans in college, I want to go to Harvard and become a doctor when I grow up.
Good afternoon. My name is Maylee Jenkins. I'm a junior at Jacksonville High School. And one of my favorite things about our high school is the vast variety of career pathway options our CTE program offers.
Good evening. My name is Zoe Ramirez. I'm currently in the 4th grade at Fred Douglass Elementary. In the future, I plan to attend Texas A&M College to play tennis. I am currently participating in Art and Number Sense UIL.
Hi, I'm Shelby Fiscal. I am a senior at JHS, and I am proud to be involved with the award-winning Cherokee Charmers.
Hi, I am Kendall All. I'm in 5th grade, and I'm in Nichols Intermediate. I am currently involved in 3 UILs, such as music memory, ready writing, and oral reading. And when I am older, I want to be a teacher or principal.
Hello, my name is James Traylor. I would like to attend Yale to get my business degree and eventually own a pastry shop here in Jacksonville.
Hello, my name is Axel Guzman, and I would like to speak about every good thing about Fred Douglass, like its Duolingo tribe and everything, every UIL you get to choose. It is a great place, and I highly recommend it.
Good evening. My name is Sydney Harmel. I'm an 8th grader at Jacksonville Middle School. And one thing I admire about our district is the hard work that our teachers and staff put into the disability program.
Hi, my name is Emery Clark, and I go to Joe Wright Elementary. And in the future, I want to attend TJC for college.
Hi, my name is Kennison Broussard in 4th grade with Eastside Elementary. When I get older, I like to go to Texas A&M and study to be a vet. And one thing that you might not know about the JISD district is that there's over 4,800 students that go there.
Hi, my name is Jordan Reed Fights, and I am a proud member of Student Ambassador. I am a 7th grader at middle school, and I want to go to college of LSU to play basketball.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Haley Brumman. I'm a 5th grader at Nichols Intermediate. I take dance, cheer, and also I play piano. I am involved with UIL, oral reading and ready writing, and listening skills. I'm also involved in Science Club. I am so proud to be a part of the Student Ambassador team this school year.
Good evening. I'm Max Nino, and I go to Nichols Intermediate in 6th grade. I am involved in the art club, science club, and student council. I would like to be an artist when I grow up.
Greetings, I'm Kennedy Beasley from Nichols Intermediate. I am a junior FFA, I am in an art club, and I participate in student council. When I attend a college, I would like to attend TJC to become a marine biologist.
My name is Arian Donnell from Westside Elementary, and when in the future I want to go to LSU to play professional baseball or basketball.
Hi, my name is Dalen Horace. I'm a sophomore at Jacksonville High School. My favorite thing about JISD is our band program, which has over 300 members this school year, and we'll be going to our first marching competition this Saturday at SFA.
Good evening. My name is Lily Allen. I am an 8th grader at Jacksonville Middle School, and I plan to own a bakery when I'm older.
Good evening, my name is Genesis Rodriguez. I go to Westside Elementary. I'm in 4th grade. My favorite subject is math. When I grow up, I want to be an FBI agent. I am so proud to be in the ambassador team this year.
Good evening. My name is Jaslyn Chirillo with Eastside Elementary. When I grow up, I want to be an athlete, and I participate in UIL spelling.
Hello, my name is Walker Dublin. I'm a senior at Jacksonville High School, and I'm a Boys State alumni, and I'm an FFA officer over the 10th largest FFA chapter in the state of Texas. And on behalf of the student ambassador team, I'd like to thank the city council for inviting us out here.
I need the two. There were two different people. One of them wanted to do pastries, and one of them wanted to own a bakery to find me when you graduate. I can make your dreams come true.
I know one of them in particular. Grandchild. Okay, do any of y'all have questions for any of our city councilmen or mayor? Michael, take it on down to the
What are some of the challenges that y'all face every day as like a council city member? Like, what are the...
Renessa.
Okay, so one of the things is that we have to keep the public in mind. And so when you guys pay your taxpayer dollars, or you go to the store and you buy something, you pay sales tax, some of that money comes to the city. And as city officials, we have to decide how can we best use that money to benefit the community. Do we put new playground equipment at the parks? Do we improve our street infrastructure? Do we hire more firemen or policemen? And as we look around town and we look at all of the needs that are there, I think the most challenging thing is prioritizing and making sure that we're doing things that benefit the community and that we're keeping the community first whenever we're making our decisions.
Thank you.
Well said.
Anyone else have a question? Okay.
Okay, I would like to know what all does it take to become a city council member?
You need to be a citizen of the city for at least, I think it is 6 months, and then you make application to be on the ballot. And if you meet all the requirements, you can be on the ballot and run for city council.
And they're voted on, correct?
They are voted on by the citizens.
And each of us have a three-year term. We can each serve consecutive 3 terms for 3 years, if you get reelected. So.
And the 3 council members and the mayor, we all went to JISD schools.
Yes, we did.
When we, and 2 of us moved away and came home, and I wouldn't be anywhere else. So. And fully expect to see one of you guys, or several of you guys up
So
here
keep
one
it in
day.
mind.
We want to see you in a few years.
Okay.
Thank you, Grace.
Ms. McKeon, you have a question?
Yeah, some of you said you're going to LSU, right? Well, my son got his doctorate degree there, so I think you'll enjoy it.
They study colleges all through school.
That's great.
Any of you have any more questions? One more? Take one more, and then we'll let y'all get on with your meeting.
Hi, what are your future plans for Jacksonville?
I bet your parents told you to ask that question.
My plan is to get us a Buc-ee's. Probably won't happen.
Well, thank you very much for having the bachelor team here tonight. They're the best of the best we have to offer, so we're happy to get out in the community and show off. Jacksonville has a current Longhorn player in the Longhorn program. Hey.
Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you.
Yes, thank y'all so much.
Thanks for coming out tonight.
Well, thank you. You guys did great. Great job.
Do what? Oh man, that's such a good one-liner. Just shuts it down.
Somebody's gonna hold on to it.
Yeah, all right.
There's a political promise.
Item number 6 is our citizens' participation. This is where we set aside a few minutes to hear concerns of the citizens. We have one that has turned in, so Mr. Mike McEwen, if you'll approach the podium.
This isn't a real big deal, but I've always noticed when they publish the notices about rezoning in the paper, that they put the legal description of the property, but they should put the address, because most people will read that article and they won't even know where they're talking about.
Good
So I
idea.
think it might help to put the address in there.
Okay, thank you. Very good. Anyone else that wants to address the council? He will relinquish the remaining 2 minutes and 15 seconds of his time to the native participant. Seeing none, we'll go to the next item. Our next item, number 7, is our consent agenda. Items here require little or no deliberation. We've got 3: approve the minutes, approval of a library board member, and a street closure for the Mingle and Jingle. So I'll entertain a motion on that.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Have a motion by Councilman Rob Goen,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Latitia Horace. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We do not have any action out of executive session. Number 9, we will have a second reading of a resolution in support of a Jacksonville Economic Development Corporation project involving an expenditure by JEDCO in excess of $10,000. So, Mr. James, if you'll, thank you.
Shane.
Not James, Shane.
It's okay.
Shane.
Thank you so much, Mayor and Council. That is not the first time I've been called James, so I'll take that as a compliment. So this evening, as the mayor just alluded to, this is the second reading of a resolution in support of an expenditure over $10,000. We are required by state law to go through the two hearing process. I did present this to the council at their workshop last Thursday, so I'll give you as much of a Cliff Note version of this as I can. But for the public, what JEDCO is looking to do is purchase the property located at 300 South Main Street. We're referring to that as the Enright building. The Enright has been operating out of that for quite some time now. It's about a 5,700 square foot building. We have a purchase price of $200,000. That's at about $34, almost $35 per square foot. That's a very competitive price. The property is located at a very predominant corner in our downtown. It's located just across the street from the Hazel Tilton Park, where the fire station recently came down. There's a significant investment in the works on the city side for that park to reinvest in that, as well as the purchase and rehab of the existing vacant lot just to the south of that. So we thought it made sense to acquire the property and use that as an incentive to try to attract the right type of business to that location. That still kind of fits into the character of what's happening in our downtown, and just to make sure that we protect the investment that's been made, not only by folks like Ms. Graham that we recognized earlier, but JEDCO in the city on the sidewalk project and all the investment that's going into that area. We have completed our survey. We did also complete an asbestos test on the property, so there's no asbestos in there, so that's good. There's no hurdles for the next user to come in to overcome. We are currently set to close on the property on October the 17th, and this was voted on by the JEDCO Board of Directors when we did receive unanimous approval at their September 21st meeting. So if there aren't any questions, I'll read the caption. If there are questions, I'm happy to answer those.
Shane, I just have one quick question. Oh,
Yes,
I know
ma'am.
you said you got a clean asbestos report. Overall, the condition of the building is in good shape, so it would be fairly easy for another user to come in and plug and play and use it.
Yes, ma'am.
in its current
There will
condition.
need to be some interior updates. The roof is currently sound. He did recommend that a roof would probably need to be replaced at some point in the future. But at this point, there are no active leaks, so that's a good thing. And then the HVAC system is currently working, but depending on who that end user is, there most likely need to be an upgrade to what's there today. But overall, the bones are very good. There aren't any major hurdles like we see in some of our other downtown buildings where it's been taking on water for years, or there's no mold, there's no lead paint,
No
nothing of
deferred
that.
maintenance issues.
That's correct.
necessarily. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so the caption, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Jacksonville, Texas, approving projects of the Jacksonville Economic Development Corporation that may include land, buildings, equipment, facilities, expenditures, targeted infrastructure, and improvements found by the Jacksonville Economic Development Corporation's Board of Directors to promote new or expanded business development within the City of Jacksonville, providing for severability and establishing an effective date. Thank you.
Appreciate it. The second part of that item is to discuss and consider with possible action that resolution. So I will entertain a motion to
I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution.
okay. We have a motion by Councilman Rob Goen,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Mindy Gallick. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carried. Item number 10 is to discuss and consider with possible action a resolution nominating directors for the Cherokee County Appraisal Board.
Yes, Mayor, City Council, as we discussed at Thursday's workshop, this is kind of a two-part process. Tonight is the council's opportunity to nominate up to 5 individuals to serve on the CCAD board. And then at your meeting in November, you'll cast your 430 votes. You can spread those 430 votes among any nominees, whether they come from our city council or other taxing entities at the November meeting. So just for a little bit of background, JISD, I believe they have the most votes out of any entity. They did nominate Mr. Jim Tarrant, Ms. Connie Nice, and Ms. Leanne Kendall Owsley, and will probably be casting their ballots in accordance with those nominations at their upcoming Board of Trustees meeting.
Okay. So at this time, would we nominate, if anyone wants to nominate someone to appear on the ballot? Brett, if they're already on the ballot and that's our nominee, do we need to nominate that person again from us?
Certainly don't have to nominate them again if they're already there.
Okay, so does anybody want to nominate anybody?
I would love to nominate Leanne Kendall Owsley.
Okay. Okay,
You can.
we good, okay. You make that in the form of a motion?
I make a motion that we nominate Leanne Kendall Owsley.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Rob Goen to nominate Leanne Kendall Owsley to that board.
Second.
Got a second by Councilwoman Latitia Horace. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. So she is our nominee.
Very well. You'll see a subsequent item at the next meeting.
Okay. Item number 11 is to discuss and consider with possible action on master fee ordinance. I think we still have a little work to do on that, so I would entertain a motion to postpone that item.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion that we postpone the possible action
Okay.
of a master fee ordinance.
All right, we have a motion to postpone the action of a master fee ordinance by Councilman Rob Goen.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Mindy Gallup. Any discussion about that? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carried. Item number 12 is to discuss and consider with possible action approving a contract with Schaumburg and Polk for engineering services to relocate utilities for the Highway 175 expansion. I guess I'm hungry, thinking about the hamburger. Pardon me. Go ahead, James.
All right, Mayor, City Council, again, as discussed on Thursday, before you this evening and in your packet is a professional services agreement with SPI out of their Tyler office for engineering services related to the relocation of city utilities that are in the state's right-of-way along Highway US 175 west of Bolton to the city limits. The city is responsible for removing our public utilities, whether that be water, sewer, or drainage infrastructure from the state's right-of-way in advance of them coming through and widening that section of US 175 to the 4-lane section that you're now see under construction, kind of the Eustis, in the CUNY area, CUNY kind of Frankston and that way. So it is a $111,000 contract. You see the deliverables there are, generally speaking, are sealed set of construction plans or engineering plans, which will then bid. As estimated currently, it's a construction project estimated at a $1.7 million price tag to the city of Jacksonville.
Okay. So I'll entertain a motion on that.
I make a motion we approve a contract with Schaumburg and Polk for engineering services to relocate utilities for the Highway 175 expansion.
Have a motion by Councilwoman Mindy Gallup.
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Rob Goen. Any discussion?
I do just have a
Yeah.
question. So the state, and correct me if I get any of this wrong, so the state is expanding the highway, but at our cost, we have to move the utilities.
That's correct. Yep.
And they don't offer any subsidy for that. They don't offer any grants to go with that.
There are opportunities for severely disadvantaged towns to get some assistance, if you will. When I met with PE David Wicks, that wasn't on the table for the city of Jacksonville. So unfortunately, that's how it goes. Like when we widen, for instance, Canada Street, Encore, and the franchise utilities in our right of way will be required to relocate their utilities at their expense. So generally how it works. Now hopefully they have done the survey has been complete and they're still working to kind of finalize exactly the severity of our encroachments into the right of ways. Water's a little easier to handle just due to its pressurized nature as opposed to sewer. But again, the $1.7 million is the current estimate.
Okay. When do we expect this to start?
We probably see construction on this start about September of 2024. We really need to be clear of the state's right of way in like March-ish, 2025.
Okay.
The state has let the final phase, which is from where they're at in CUNY to the terminus of the project here in Jacksonville, and as phased by TxDOT, it's going to just kind of continue in an orderly fashion from CUNY towards Jacksonville.
Okay.
Yeah, with some bridges that may start, intermittently.
And how long do we think it's going to take us to get the utilities relocated?
I believe it's like a 6-month timeline. Yeah. So.
Up there on cost responsibilities of the owner being TxDOT?
No, the city of Jacksonville.
Oh, the city of Jacksonville.
Yeah. So we've already paid for the boundary survey.
Okay.
And I should know this, but that 1.7 million is captured in our budget for this upcoming fiscal year? Or for the current fiscal year?
No, it'll be utility funded project, so we put $500 placeholder ARPA because we didn't know the severity of the encroachments until the survey was conducted. The survey
Okay.
was about 10,000, so we have about 490 toward the 111 plus the 17 right now on the ARPA side.
So the 111 is not included in the 1.7?
It is not, no, it's in addition to.
Okay, so it's really 1.8.
Yeah.
And one of the things we discussed last Tuesday is, from a budget standpoint, because I asked the same question, sort of. And James had indicated that there's on some water infrastructure projects that we'd worked on that we'd borrowed money from the state, and James had indicated that there was going to be some loan forgiveness.
Oh,
which will free up
the cash.
The 1.7 million.
Yeah.
It'll give us access back to that. I mean, if they wipe our debt clean there, and then we go back in we're at a kind of a 0-0 at the end of it all. We'll actually come out better because the money that they're forgiving is more expensive than the 1.8 million. So
Okay.
we're not going into debt, and then the whole concept of the water sewer, that being a totally separate utility fund. That's not particularly part of our. It is a part of our budget and all of that, but the only thing those monies can be used for is water and sewer infrastructure stuff. So
yeah.
And that's probably not just a one fiscal year expenditure. That's probably a flop over.
Right, so construction won't occur until for our next fiscal year, that budget, our FY25
that
budget.
24-25 budget.
Yeah.
So
I got you.
that's my understanding for what that's worth. It sounds like a lot of money, but we got it. Yeah.
It's a little, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Well, it is a lot of money. So.
It's a lot.
So I think we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion anybody has? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Discuss and consider with possible action approving expenditures for a budgeted Bobcat compact excavator.
Yes, Mayor, City Council, as we looked at Thursday, this is kind of the Swiss Army knife of the water and utility fund in terms of just projects throughout town. Was budgeted and approved in the current budget at $75,000 via a buy-board contract with Bobcat of Longview. We're able to secure the piece of equipment for just under $72,000. So this is to approve the actual expenditure. The purchase, if you will, is kind of already baked into the approval of the budget, but since it's over $50,000, we didn't have to sealed bid it thanks to the buy-board contract, but when the piece of equipment's ready for delivery, we'll make payment and take delivery.
Okay.
When are we getting this, Randall?
Basically, what this will authorize us to do is get it a build order. Anything that they need people think to do, it's a lead time, so they're saying 90 to 120 days.
Okay. I just remember driving the fire truck when it got here, and I've never driven a Bobcat, so I expect it to be available.
Don't you have to have a license to drive that thing?
Oh no, not on city property. We'll go out to the burn pile and move some of that.
I'll entertain a motion on that.
I'll make a motion that we approve the purchase.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Rob Goen to approve the purchase.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Latitia Horace. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Item number 14 is to discuss and consider with possible action approving the Civic Center policies and fees as presented by the staff.
Yes, Mayor, City Council, I really appreciate the deliberations and the discussion we've had on this item over the last couple of months. Definitely appreciate the council's sensitivity to wanting the Civic Center to serve not only our out-of-town guests, which is how it's funded, so it's 100% as planned and as continued to be planned to be funded by the hotel occupancy tax. So that means that property taxes do not fund operations at the Civic Center. But we still wanted to be very sensitive to both attracting those out-of-town guests and having a certain level of kind of elegance to do so, but also being able to hold at an attractive rate. Many of the different events that we're accustomed to having here in Jacksonville, whether it be Ducks Unlimited or Hope Banquets and other things of those nature, especially as it related to the nonprofit entities in town. So I commend you on the job you've done based on area competitors and even regional competitors to structure the rates that I think are very attractive and affordable. We've included Sunday as a weekday in terms of the rates. Many entities or many facilities of the nature and caliber of what the Jackson, which is the official name of the Civic Center, is, would include Sunday on your weekend rates, but we wanted to offer that on a daytime or a weekday rate. We've really done a good job carving up the building and allowing for users to have a very custom package, if they will. They can even secure exclusive access. That's going to be really for your weddings and larger events where you really can't have any type of interference throughout the day. One thing I also want to thank the council for was your willingness to include the 2.5% discount per up to 4 vendors from the city of Jacksonville within the city limits that would be providing services for an event out there. So for instance, if there is a rental for a wedding and the guest decides to use a local caterer and a local florist and a local event planner, things of that nature, they can, in addition to the nonprofit rates and the weekly day of the week breakdown, receive up to an additional 10% discount on their rates. So you see a couple asterisks there. The city will also, thanks to partnership with Jedco, be providing tables and chairs as part of the rental package. So that again helps keep the rates lower because these rates do include the tables and chairs. So, and we have some reoccurring rates for either local nonprofits or local businesses or some of our civic clubs that may want to hold weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly meetings out there. So I think we've done a phenomenal job at coming out of the gate with rates that we think are, I guess, commensurate with the facility that we have. And again, it's funded by hotel and motel taxes. And so the goal ultimately is really to get those weddings, to get those larger high head count events here, especially multi-day events. We already have a couple that take place there on those grounds, and those are really what put the heads in beds and justify the expenditure to support our tourism industry and our wonderful hoteliers.
Very good. So I will entertain a motion on the policy and fees.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the Civic Center policies and fees as presented by staff.
We have a motion by Councilwoman Latitia Horace.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Mindy Gallup. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Item number 15 is to discuss and consider with possible action a requested replat for 267 County Road 3115.
Sure, Mayor, City Council, sorry, even as big as I could make it on the screen, it's going to be very small, but it's an extremely minor boundary line, really kind of just realignment. It lies in the county. It's before the City Council tonight because it is on a city-owned lake lease lot. Both property owners, the adjacent property owners are in agreement. Again, it has to do with changing a boundary line and how that boundary line intercepts the shoreline for the purposes of constructing a boathouse. So when you have converging property lines, it tightens the boundaries within which you can build your boathouse, and so this is kind of making some changes. It's a relatively common change.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion we approve the requested replat for 267 County Road 3115.
Have a motion by Councilwoman Mindy Gallup.
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Rob Goen. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. All right. Open forum for mayor and council.
I would, Mayor, I would
Yes.
just like to share just a quick update on our Neighbors Helping Neighbors event that we hosted
Yes.
2 Saturdays ago. So we had a really great turnout. We had about, oh, look at their picture, 60 or 65 folks show up 2 weekends ago. We worked on 4 of the 5 houses. We were a little short and weren't able to work on the 5th house, but we are in the process of getting all of the work on all 5 of the houses finished up. So just want to say a huge thank you to everyone that came out that day. And for everyone's support, both financially and with, just coming out swinging a hammer and raising a paintbrush. So I would, if I tried to call names, I'm sure I'd leave somebody out, but there's so many people to thank. And just really appreciate you all embracing this event and just coming out and being willing to help your neighbor. And we hope that you will join us again next year. So thank y'all so much.
Is this going to be a yearly?
We hope
every
to.
6 months or?
No, right now it's yearly.
Okay.
So we're hoping to keep it at least an annual event, and then hoping to spread the love and spread the love and get it to different districts.
For that fifth house, or
We're working on it. We just didn't have enough people on that Saturday to be able to address it, but we've got a gentleman who's going around doing some work on each of the houses for us, so he's finishing everything up for
got
us.
some kids that I might could help send your way sometime. We can coordinate that together.
Okay, yeah, let me know. Let me know. That would be great. We do have a house that we didn't quite finish painting.
Yeah.
So if they're
One of them's a
interested
good
in
painter.
painting.
He's helped me paint 2 houses of mine recently. So
Okay. Well, yeah, let's
I'll
talk.
make him do some volunteer charity work.
Okay. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Yeah. So thank y'all so much.
Yeah, thank you for that comment. Anybody else have anything? All right. City manager's report?
Yeah, I want to tag onto that just slightly. I mean, I think one thing that impresses me so much about that event is the business community. It's definitely neighbors helping neighbors, but in a lot of ways it's businesses helping neighbors too, because the donations and just the turnout. I mean, several of our newcomers to downtown Jacksonville were out there, and so it was just fantastic to see the hospital administrator from UT Health, and so really a good cross section of the community out there helping. And just our business community is second to none in terms of their generosity in Jacksonville. Coming downtown October 21st, which is a Saturday from 10 to 4, you're going to see the Falling in Love with Jacksonville event. It's really not a city event, but we're doing our best to kind of highlight it and showcase it. It'll be on the block right there in front of the main branch of Austin Bank. There's a lot of different events coming along, so you'll see other events in subsequent city council meetings, but we have Mingle and Jingle Jog, and we're going to have a very festive kind of wrap up to 2023 here with all the things going on downtown. Construction is expected to commence on the new playground in Buckner Park in November. Potentially even late October, you'll start to see concrete border structure that will basically encase or incorporate all the, if you will, the engineered wood fiber or the mulch safety surface that'll go around that. And we're just waiting on the equipment to deliver and then be installed. But we've had our pre-construction meeting, and we're really excited to see that grant-funded project from TPWD come to life. And I just want to thank our city council members that were able to attend Texas Municipal League last week. We spent about 2.5 days in Dallas. It's one thing to be a paid administrator for the city and to try to stay on top of trends and things going on. It's a totally another thing to take time away from your personal business or your job or your employer to stay on top of trends, to learn how we can better engage with our public, to see what the state's doing from a legislative position with and against cities sometimes, and just to make sure that we're doing our best to serve our citizens. So for any of you who have taken time, whether remotely or there in person, the connections we make and some of the things we learn are really pivotal to continuing to serve the citizens of Jacksonville. So that's all I have, sir.
Very good.
Can I the group, the citizens group that's hosting the downtown event?
Oh, please.
Falling in Love with Jacksonville?
Yeah, the Community Arts Alliance.
Yeah, the Jacksonville Community Arts
Jacksonville
Alliance.
Community
Sorry.
Arts Alliance. Is there a way for us structurally to, I know we have Keep Jacksonville Beautiful on our water bills, but that organization in reality, if we're going to move forward with concerts, with Christmas decorations, with bringing these kind of events and substantial investments into town and obviously we're not going to use a lot of tax money to pay for that kind of stuff, and we're going to ask for a lot of funding from our business community and all of us and that type of deal. Is there a way to get that group, do we have any policies or procedures in place to put that kind of stuff on a water bill to where, we can donate $50 a month or that kind of deal? I know I do that on all my water bills with the Keep Jacksonville Beautiful.
There are certainly mechanisms we could take a look into. There's nothing at a staff level we would be able to initiate. So there's not like a framework within we could do that.
I just didn't know I know that they've done they've done their legal structuring as a 501c3, but I didn't know how to bring that. I don't know what Keep Jacksonville Beautiful is structured like, or those type groups that that's the only box we have to check. But if we could if we could raise some money and do some things that are pretty easy for people.
I think that, from my perspective, the Keep Jacksonville Beautiful is kind of a subset of the city. Would that be right?
And see, that's what I didn't know.
And this isn't, and you don't want to start something you can't get the lid back on. But it's
Right.
just an independent 501c3. If we did it for them.
Yeah,
then
and that's why I was asking about the
somebody else
policy
might
and
wanna come.
procedures.
Yeah, I don't
and the
know.
deal.
We might can look at it.
I mean, it's just a very important
Oh, it is.
organization.
Sure.
That's
There's
gonna
also,
move-
there's also legal limitations on what a city can do as far as the city itself.
Yeah.
For, you know, donating to a charity.
I mean, how do we bring a group like that under our umbrella? I mean, I don't know. I just, I mean,
I think they'll do good stuff.
oh, I know they
Over
will,
time.
but just, I mean, it's just a matter of, you know, the funding and.
Yeah.
Is that something that they're interested in?
Not that I'm aware of.
No, I haven't, no, I've not talked to anybody.
Because
I
that
just-
could, that could be a very different, their organization could look very different if they were to pursue that. So I mean,
Right.
that might be worth having a conversation with them to just
Yeah.
kind of see what that would look like, but.
It's just gonna take every single human being that lives in this town giving $20 or whatever is possible to give to fund that project for every single one of us.
Alrighty.
To benefit.
Yeah.
At this point, at 6:51, I will call us back into a closed executive session. City Hall Conference Room per Open Meetings Act per Government, Texas Government Code Section 551.071, consult city attorney, and 551.072, real property. And if there's any action that comes out of that, I guess we'll come back in here anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, so we stand adjourned or into executive session at 6:51. Thank you.